Hello to all the clarinet players and saxophone players out there. This information this week is to do with reeds. Now, not only does the reed have to be in good playing condition, but of course, which I'll talk about shortly, but it also has to be placed on the mouthpiece correctly, because there can be issues of sound production, just achieving a fairly easy sound if the reed isn't placed on the mouthpiece quite where it should be. Can result even in unpredictable squeaks actually. So if I just take my reed off just to show you, this is to remind pupils how the reed is to be positioned, or even for mums and dads who would like to perhaps, or I know do help their children to put the reeds on from time to time. So there's the reed. The reed is necessary, of course, on the clarinet and saxophone because that's what produces the sound. The reed vibrates when you blow down the mouthpiece, and out comes that lovely sound we hope. So very important. So there's my mouthpiece. There's the back of the reed, slightly dirty in my case, but it's still very usable. It's still fine. That's the front of the mouth, the front of the reed. Okay, so you place it flat side, goes against the mouthpiece, and I tend to put it so it's about even flush with the tip of the mouthpiece. Some books will say, it can be slightly, the reed can be slightly under the tip of the mouthpiece so that you're sort of seeing the outer edge of the mouthpiece if you're looking at straight at it. I personally don't think it matters too much. What is important, about flush is about right, I would say. You certainly don't want it over too high, and you certainly don't want it too low. Oh, and also actually you don't want it slightly offset. It must be absolutely straight, the reed, to the mouthpiece. Okay, so correct positioning is important. And then you simply place your ligature on the mouthpiece by holding it. I hold it with the reed with my thumb as I place the ligature on. Hopefully it won't move. That's about right. And then should we see if it works? It works. Okay, so that's the reed on. Just a couple of things about reeds. It is very important that you don't play on chipped, broken reeds in any way, because of course I said at the start that the reed is, vibrates when you blow down the mouthpiece. The vibrations of the reed make the sound, and so if you've got a chipped reed or a split reed, that will affect the sound, properties and tonal characteristics of your sound. So you should have a reed that's unblemished really. How long does a reed last? Now that's a very interesting one, because I've had over many years, pupils saying, oh well, I'm having some terrible difficulties achieving the sound, and I'm getting squeaks and so on. And when I ask them how long they've had the reed on for, they'll say, oh yeah, 2-3 months, 4 months, 5 in 1 or 2 cases. No. What happens is the reed will eventually, over a course of, from day one really, but over the course of that a week or 2, certainly that reed, if you're practicing regularly and doing fairly reasonable sort of length practices, at least 20-30 minute practices, that reed will deteriorate, and it might not look like it might look fine, but what happens is the reed becomes saturated with your spit, your saliva, and that absorbs within the reed. And although the reed may look all right, the reed begins to lose its flexibility, and its vibration qualities are sort of compromised. So it's very important that you change your reed when it's required. Now, the point is, when is it required? Because how are you supposed to know, especially if you're a young beginner, you haven't been playing for long, even a year or two or more. Well, my old clarinet teacher from many years ago, in 1900, no, I'm joking, many years ago, my clarinet teacher, very fine musician and tutor by the name of Leonard, orchestral player, he suggested to me, and I used this plan used it for many years. Pick out 3 or 4, nice new reeds from your box or your pack, and label them, 1, back to the next one, 2, 3, 4th reed, or even put a date on them. And every, couple of practices, rotate to the next number, and the next one, and the next. And then if a reed isn't playing, or you don't feel that you're getting as much performance out of that reed, then you do have the other reeds to compare with, don't you? And that will probably tell you that the reed that's not performing well is probably due to be replaced. Okay, and it also means that you have other reeds broken in as well. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good tip. It was given to me many years ago, and I still use it to this day and recommend this to my pupils. So, don't play on chipped reeds. Make sure that your positioning of the reed on the mouthpiece is good and is straight and is level with the tip of the mouthpiece, and you should be good to go. Okay, so I hope that helps, and bye for now.